my last day as a police officer was April 20th, 2022, which is 420, which again is no coincidence. Cannabis has had a really positive influence on me and my whole journey. And I see a universe with the whole 420 is the last day of my policing career.
Yeah.
And so that was the end of my policing career.
Yeah, dude, there's so much I want to unpack with this. I think to start with, when you talked about this journey and, going into the ceremony of it, like the big spectacle of it too, it's like the two words that come to my mind are detachment and surrender, where the normalized psychology or psychiatry that you do, the talk therapy that you do, there's a lot of merit to it. I mean, talking through these things can have such a powerful, healing ability for a lot of people, but putting yourself into that position where you can witness these things almost from a detached work, because it's in the past. We think that it is who we are, but in reality, it's not who we are at all. Like, we are a different person every day. So actually to see yourself as not who you are, but witnessing yourself going through that, the same thing as the person you were speaking to. But then when you talk about like that spiritual connection of the mindset of the physical body, how it translates to the physical body, the spirituality, it's a big word. It's a weird word that is hard for a lot of people because some people relate that to God, some people to religion, a very tight-knit like set of rules that you need to follow, or it's a universe, it's open. I mean, there's no one set doctrine to follow, so it's very hard to understand. So the word that always came to my mind with spiritual connection is surrendering yourself, surrendering the ego. And it seems like that's what this journey ultimately did for you, is gave you a platform, gave you an unveiling that you could step into a safe space and surrender all these things and say, see what happens from there.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
when you went into this, like, and you held the medicine to your heart and you said your intentions, at that moment, did you feel ultimately like whatever happens now at this time is okay with me? Or was there still a little bit of that, I'm trying to force an outcome at all from this?
No, I was very much in that full surrender and just full open to the possibility of it changing my life at that point, but with no expectation that was going to be the case. Just like, whatever, I've been guided to be in this place at this time, and whatever, and just surrendering to that, and then just allowing with whatever the outcome was kind of my mindset at that point.
Yeah, it's powerful. I've talked with friends who have gone through multiple experiences in different types of plant medicine. Psilocybin is one. I've done microdosing work on that as well, but going into ayahuasca and bufo, I mean, there's a lot of different modalities of going into it. And it seems like everyone that has had the positive experiences similar to you that made that impact, it wasn't just like, oh, I did this once and now I'm healed. It's a journey afterwards, but it opens you to put you on the right path. All had something very similar, where I'm going in with an intention, but let's see what happens. And it's that surrendering of it as well. And I think that's that part of strength that we don't talk about as much. I mean, I've been in the personal training and strength coaching world for 15 years, where most of the marketing messages that we hear is guaranteed in 12 weeks, you're going to be at XYZ and all this shit's going to happen from there, to force this outcome in there. And then if it doesn't happen at that time, then the person thinks, oh, what did I do wrong? I did something wrong. Versus going it in with, let's see what happens. Let's surrender to it. Just do the right things and then be open to how this is going to work, and then try different things out. And it seems very similar in a therapy practice or a mindset practice or a spiritual practice. It's all that same thing. If you can surrender and then detach yourself from these past traumas that you've had, and knowing that that's not you anymore, you don't have to live in those. That seems like it's the right approach.
Yeah, for sure. And it's counterintuitive because we think that being open and surrendering and being vulnerable, we think that's a sign of weakness when the exact opposite is so true. It's a true sign of strength now, like looking at it from the outside, is when you can be completely vulnerable and open and talk about these things